Next, we'll discuss leverage and margin. Leverage is having the ability to control a large amount of money using very little of your own money and borrowing the rest. In order for retail traders to grant access to the forex market, trading accounts are leveraged at the broker's end. As a rule of thumb, the bigger the leverage, the bigger the risk, so a trader may want to take this into consideration. If the leverage is too big, then even small moves the market makes are enough to wipe out the trading capital. The classical leverage size is anywhere between 1/100 and 1/500, and it is chosen once and for all when you are first creating your account. This means that the trader can treat his account as it is 100 times more in case of a 1/100 leverage account, and 500 times more in the case of a 1/500 leverage account. For example, if I chose a 1/100 leverage and I have an account of 1K, I can treat it as a 100K account. To clarify, let's go over an example with two different scenarios. Scenario A. Let's say I want to buy a house that costs 100K, but I only have 20K, so I go to the bank, pay that 20K as a first settlement, and take a loan of 80K. In this case, I have a leverage of 1/5 as I bought something that costs 100K with only 20K initial investment. Now let's say after a while, prices went up like crazy, like 50% growth, in a way that price of the house that I bought for 100K is now 150K. So with the 20K investment, I have earned 50K. That's the power of leverage. Scenario B. Let's say I'm the type of person who doesn't want to take risk or to be in debt to the bank. So I decided to buy a small house that is worth 20K. In this case, I'm not taking advantage of leverage, or in other words, I'm using a leverage of 1/1. Again, let's say that real estate prices went up like 50%, so my house that I bought for 20K is now worth 30K. In this example, I have earned 10K only. Keep in mind that the money you are making or losing from your trades is not related to the leverage you chose. For example, if you enter a trade with one standard lot and close it with 10 pips profit, your profit in money is around $100, no matter which leverage you are using, whether it's a 1/100 or 1/500 leverage. Just like the relation between the pip and lot size, leverage and margin comes together. The most known misconception is that if you choose a higher leverage, the profit or loss would be higher, which is completely wrong. Leverage only affects the margin. What is margin then? Margin is the amount of money needed as a good faith deposit to open a position with your broker. It is used by your broker to maintain your position. In our previous example, scenario A, the margin needed was 20K. Your broker takes your margin deposit and pools them with everyone else's margin deposits and uses this one super margin deposit to be able to place trades within the interbank network. This is not a transaction cost, nor it is charged to your account, but serves to ensure that you have sufficient balance in your account relative to the size of your position. Margin is usually expressed as a percentage of the full amount of the position. For example, most brokers say they require 2%, 1, 0.5, or 0.2% margin for a leverage of 1/50, 100, 200, or 1/500. Here's the formula. Lot divided by leverage equals the required margin. In other words, if you have a leverage of 1/500 on your trading account and you want to open a one standard lot position, let's say on USD JPY, knowing that one lot equals $100K, then the margin required is $200. That means that you must have at least $200 in your account to be able to open that trade. The conception of margin and leverage is a simple but extremely important concept you need to understand before you start trading the forex market. By not understanding leverage and margin, many traders undercapitalized their accounts or overtraded. Now let's take an example to clarify the relation between leverage and margin. Let's say your trading account balance is $600. You have a leverage of 1/500 and you want to enter with one standard lot size on a trade. Your required margin would be 100k divided by 500 equals $200. In this case, you would need $200 in your account for the broker to allow you to enter the trade. Here's another example. Let's keep everything as is, $600 account, one lot position size, but change the leverage to 1/100 instead of 1/500. In this case, you would need 100k divided by 100 equals 1k. You would need 1k in your account for the broker to allow you to enter this trade. However, in this case, you won't be able to enter as you only have $600. As you can see, here's how the leverage affects the margin by limiting the number of lots you can hold at a time. In case you are new to Forex and don't know what you're doing, it's advised to choose a low leverage so that your broker doesn't let you enter with lot sizes that's too much for you to handle. In parallel, if you are an experienced trader following a strict risk management approach, it doesn't really matter which leverage you choose, as you won't need the broker to tell you when enough is enough. Anyway, do not worry, as we'll cover everything about how to manage your risk in Module 4.